Hello, Namaste, Namaskaram. This is Santhosh Nimmani, introvert career growth hacker. So, this is about the online talk show Stories of Hope Introvert Special #23. So, this show, I believe a person or the persons who have achieved something, achieved hope in their life or got some hope in their life and achieved success, and because of which they are being telling their stories in this show. This show is not only for introverts, it is for most of the people out there, because I believe from this show you can also get some hope in your life. So with that note, let us come into the show. Today we invited a guest who is an introvert, but he has embraced it. He's so proud of introversion, and apart from that, he is a person who have the courage to defeat the odds. Whatever he has done lot of, he has gone through a lot of ups and downs. He came from a very humble background, but went completely down again, built his empire, whatnot. He has done a lot of things in his life. So he is born in Mangalore and brought up in Mumbai, and his expertise is in finance and accounting, that is taxation, working for a big MNC for last 14 years. He started as an associate accountant, then reached to assistant manager and all. In this process, again, as I told you, he came from lot of hurdles. To be frank, his story is about rich to rags. He bravely fought every single odd, and that too alone. I should tell that alone, that too as an introvert. He has fought all the odds in his life and he achieved whatever he wants. Right now, he is having a very good position or very good job out there in one of the biggest MNC, and he is going to come over today for us as a guest. So without any delay, in the meantime, I think there is some technical issue from our guest side. Without any delay, we will call him up. But in the meantime, I will be discussing about mine. So yeah, anyhow, there is a technical issue. Our guest is we are waiting for him. He connected and he got dropped because of some issues. He will be connecting again. So let us see about my story. I think if you know about my story, I was an introvert who used to hide behind shadows. Right now also I'm an introvert, but before this I used to hide behind my mom whenever someone comes to me, and I never thought I will come on this live show and I will do like this. It's not a dream for me as well, because I was so comfortable doing whatever I am doing inside my home and all. So yes, so that's where I have embraced my introversion. I loved my introversion. I understood what exactly introversion is, and started exploring about introversion. And here I am. Whatever I'm talking over here, that is all about how I have been achieved. Whatever I have understood in introversion, I have implemented. I have understood my powers, and I have I worked on my weaknesses. That's it. So anyhow, our guest is there. Guest is over here. So let us invite our guest of the day, Arvind.
Hi,
Hello,
Santosh.
sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Santosh.
Yes. Thank you,
Bring
sir.
it on.
Thank you for being. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for joining over here. A lot of gratitude to you. Just I asked you regarding giving your time. It's so, I am so privileged to be hosting you because I know your journey personally as well. So this definitely, I know, that's where I thought, okay, if your journey is being put up in a big place or a big platform, definitely there will be hundreds of people, hundreds, thousands of people can actually get inspired from. That's where I want you to be coming on my show. It's a privilege to be actually hosting you today. Thank you so much, sir, once again. So
And
yes, sir, I have
I'm
given.
too happy to be on your show too.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
Thank you
my
so much.
privilege also to be on your show, Santosh.
Yes. So I have already introduced about you with some whatever I know personally. So you introduce about yourself, sir. What exactly you are, and yeah, I have told you. I told them that about rich to rags and about your story. So today we'll be talking about it. So before that, just give us some small introduction to me as well. Maybe I have missed some points, or to the audience who are watching it live and recorded.
Yeah. Hi, Santosh. This is Arvind, and I'm from Mumbai. I've done my master's in accountancy. I'm working at present with Ahuja Construction for the past 14 years. At present, my designation is Assistant Manager at Taxation, and I'm specifically looking after the TDS. And
Okay.
March, this is the main month for us. But still, I'm happy to be on your show.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
This
Thank
is
you
my
so much.
introduction.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the short and sweet introduction. So yes, next is about, let us go into our show. Okay, so this is about, I think, if you know about it, if I know that you are being consistently following me and all the platforms, I know that. But yeah, anyhow, I have to tell you and the audience as well. This show is
Sure.
about two phases. The first phase is about the question and answers phase. Second round or the second phase will be about a rapid fire. Okay, so let us go into the first round of our live show, that is about the question and answers. The first question for you is, so about introversion, what exactly happened in your life before? I mean, if you, where you have understood that you are having these traits of uh, being that introvert. I don't know that term. Even for me as well, I don't know the term of introvert, but I know that there are some characteristics in me that I want to be alone, or I want to be I don't want to go to people in that way. So what exactly had happened in your life, so you understood that you want to be like that?
Uh, Looking back, Santhosh, from my childhood, I've been an introvert. I wouldn't talk to many people, because we were conditioned like that. Now, looking back, so when my mother would say, "Just do your things. I don't want any complaints from teachers and anything. Just be quiet, study properly." That was a major advice, because let me go a little bit through a little bit more. Lived in a joint family. There were 18 members in my house, So uh, you can say there were things, there were a lot of tensions in the house. She didn't want additional tension. So she said, don't make mischief, be quiet, pay attention, and come home. So any problems I would have, she would deal with it. So right from my childhood to now, I'm an introvert, but I've changed over a period of time. When I needed to change, when I needed to make my point across, I've made my point across. But I'm really happy being an introvert.
Yes, awesome, sir. So yeah, any incident which you want to share with our audience regarding being an introvert? You felt like, "Arey, why I'm like this? What actually is stopping me?" Or any such incident, or someone bullied you, or someone insulted you for being like that. So any such incident you want to share with our audience?
Well, I was bullied in school. Bullied
Yeah.
in school. I wouldn't retaliate, since I told you, my mother wanted me to be very much this thing, very quiet, and she would deal with it. I wouldn't deal it. I wouldn't deal with these things. So I was a quiet person. But yes, I was bullied in school as well as I was bullied at home and during my tumultuous journey. But I overcome that. Now I can give people as good as I get. But earlier, I wouldn't retaliate. I would
Hmm.
just hear and ignore it and leave it to God. Of course, you should leave it to God. But there are times you should make your point to the other person. The other person should feel that. So
Hmm.
that's what we
Okay.
all face
So
bullying, and I faced that way.
yeah. So now coming to next particular question is about, so where exactly you understood that, okay, this is okay for me now. What exactly I have to do? And I you got some because there is a event happened in your life and you got confident regarding that. Any such situation where you got confidence that it's okay to be introvert and I can do whatever I want. So any such incidents in your life?
So I will narrate the incidents to you.
Yes.
So now this was in the year 2007. I still remember that date. See, 2007, I was around 30 years old, Santhosh, and that was the time I had to. My mummy especially wanted me to get settled, and she was looking for prospective girls and everything. She, like every parent, they want their children to be settled. But on 11th of July 2007, I still remember, Santhosh, my mother met with a fatal accident. The train just hit my mother, and she was instantly paralyzed. And the worst thing that day was I didn't get hospital. I had to shuttle from one place in the ambulance. And finally, I got a hospital at night. And by the time I brought my mother to the hospital, she said that she cannot be cured. She will live in a paralyzed state. So for 16, so the next 16 months, Santosh, I had, it was the my life changed. Previous to that, I had not seen anything like tension. My mother would do everything for me. So this was a major incident which changed my life. Now I became more responsible. Another thing, Santosh, I would say, my daddy's health was deteriorating, and he was in his second childhood. So since my mother was in hospital, I had to look after my mother. I had to go to my job, and then come home and face the wrath of my dad. Since he was in his second childhood. So these three things really. So now I had to take all the responsibility of my home. I had to run my home, which previously I had never done, Santosh. And 16 months in hospital, Santosh, was a very difficult task. The task of arranging money. When my mother died, the total hospital bill came around to 27 lakhs. And I was only earning 18,000 per month, Santosh. So it was a huge challenge for me to raise the money. There were times I couldn't pay the money. In the 16 months, you have to pay your money. Every 15 days, you need to settle your bill. So I had to find various ways. I had to dispose of my assets in my native place to arrange the money. So after 16 months, my mom expired. Then after within a year, my dad expired. We were a family of 5, and in this 16 months, I saw 4 deaths, Santosh. And you can say my family was wiped out. And of 5 members, 4 were dead, and I was the only survivor. And I was a bachelor, during that time. And I was living in Andheri. This place had a real estate value, and all my relatives had an eye on my house. And there was no nomination to this house. So I had to battle even that. After seeing 4 deaths, my mother, after seeing 4 deaths, before dying, my mother made a very important statement. She said, when I die, don't cry. I will not come to wipe your tears. That Santosh, even today for me, I cannot forget those words. She said, when you die, when she dies, there'll be no one to wipe your tears, and you have to face all these things. She knew what I had to face, and I was not equipped enough to face that. So, what she said, that word, even today, Santosh, for me, I cannot forget. And I see that quote so often, but in my life, it actually happened. She said, you have to look after your dad as long as he's there, and then you get settled down. Once he's no more, he's not going to live long, and once he's then you settle down in life. And you have to find, now you'll have to find the girl yourself. Don't trust anyone. So this was the challenge. One more thing, where the most scariest part, Santhosh, I should say, when my daddy expired. So he was the 4th member to die. When dad expired, that night was the worst night for me. I could, imagine all the 4 people, I could get their images, and I couldn't sleep that night. And that night there was another incident. My relatives wanted to grab my property, and I was beaten that day. So I had to surrender my jewelry, everything, and I was left with nothing. But one thing I did, which was a turning point of my life. I didn't give up this house. I gave up everything. But I stood, for the first time in my life, I stood up for myself. I said, whatever you want, but I'll not leave this house. I'll not surrender this house. If you want my house, I will rather die. You'll have to kill me, but I will just not surrender my house. So you can say this was the first transformation time. That changed my life. And then my relatives, I had to battle with 18 people. One person fighting 18 people was a hard task, Santhosh. But then they gave up, and the people in my building also came to my rescue. Then I quickly had to do the nomination, take the help of some of the members who went out of the way, my neighbors especially, and I got this house in my name with great difficulty, and my relatives were in the committee members. So, the committee had to go, new committee had to come, and I got the this thing of my house, custody of my house. Then there was a court battle too. Finally, now it is this thing, it is in my name. Now nobody can get rid of me. So this was the first turning point, that I overcame all these things. Another thing, which my mother said, now you have to settle down. After my dad expired, I was left with nothing, no jewelry, everything. My house was literally ransacked. I didn't have anything. So I could sell, I had only 3 lakhs budget. Within that, I had to get married. Even though it is 12 years back, but it's a very limited budget, to get married. And you have to make the most out of it. I had to go to Mangalore. I didn't trust anyone here. So I had to go to my native place. And finally, I chose, I think, Mridula, the wife whom I exactly wanted. I should thank the universe and gratitude. Like the girl whom I exactly looked. One more thing, Santhosh. Let me go back to my mother's death. I finalized one girl, for the marriage. My relatives finalized, That broke off also immediately after my mother's death. So you can see how devastated I felt. Mother's death, your family being wiped out. The girl whom you were supposed to marry that time in 2007, she ditched you. So it was the most devastating time. Now, coming back to this point, I found a girl who, managed everything. And obviously, I did not take dowry or anything because, see, everything was in my hands. I had to do everything. I had to find one friend of mine who knew my customs because I didn't know anything, Santhosh. Having lived in Bombay, what particular thing I required. So one of my friends, his family in Mumbai, was there to help me out. So everything, the sari, the jewelry, and all the things. And Santhosh, I wanted to get married with proper rituals, And I just didn't want to do a registered marriage, I wanted to do a proper ritual, and I wanted to make one statement, Santhosh. एक लड़का अपना शादी खुद भी करा सकता है, which is a rare thing. कोई आपका फैमिली मेंबर सर्वाइविंग मेंबर्स नहीं है और खुद अपना शादी का पहल वो खुद करता है. You won't find this type of, Santhosh, this type of thing,
No, not easy, sir. Not at all easy. I know that.
Yeah. And I had to find one because stage में लेके जाने को, you have to find one relative. So, and Santhosh, nobody was coming to me. कि आपके घर में 4 जन का मौत हो गया. 4 people died in your house. So everybody thought like I was jinxed, I was unlucky. So people, my own relatives, turned against me. If I come near them, they will also die. We Indians are so fatalistic in nature. So luckily I found one relative. Then from my mother's side, I found one relative. So they gave me their place, and I could execute my, my marriage plans. Everything I had to do, Santhosh. I had to find a hall, everything, the caterers, all the things, the decorators, all these things, like I had to be resourceful. Like how Dave sir would say, here I had to be resourceful, and I had no experience. And in this show, I would want to reiterate, my friends, they played a great role. My 5 friends, they really played a great role. Like Kishore, I would take some of the names, Kishore, Calvin, Vikas, Vishal. They really played a great role. Without them, I would not be able to execute. Of course, you needed to have a team. And they had never been to Mangalore. They were the local people. So, and since all my relatives boycotted me, they felt below the dignity to come to my marriage. So I had to take help of my friends, and they all come from a humble background, not from an upper elite background. So they helped me out, and I was able to plan my marriage. In between, when I was अपने शादी में 7 फेरे होते, and I had to find, see the decorators bill, the caterers bill, everything I had to, in all these things, Santhosh, the challenges were there for me. And I executed all these things, and that's what I'm proud of, ना शादी मैंने खुद करवाया, बिना मेरे रिश्तेदार के, and if you do good or bad, the word spreads, Not only that, my mehndi ceremony, the post-marriage ceremony, everything I handled by myself, and that's what I'm really proud of, Santhosh. It was a tough task.
Yes, sir. Yes. It is not easy.
When you get married, that's why I'm saying you should do it when your parents are there, and not. I'm not the ideal example. But if anybody is facing this, they can come to me.
No, sir. Yeah, it is about, even though you faced it, facing alone is even not easy at all. So you have managed a lot of things at a single stretch. It is, I mean, we will be having a lot of people to manage that many things, and
There was
yeah, in the
nobody.
mean, nobody to actually do the physical things, and the mental thing is the one which you have to carry at that moment. That is
Yes.
even more tough. I mean, physical things at least we can tell some friends or something, but yeah, the mental thing which you are carrying, right? I mean, being at that moment still no one is supporting you, but still you are pushing yourself to do the things, pushing yourself to go to the next level. So that is what it is, which is unique, and that is where that's what inspired lot of, I mean, inspired me, sir. So I know that you have already told me about your story and all. That's what, when we are having a discussion, so that's what even inspired me. I think this will inspire thousands of people out there. That is what my wish is. Yeah.
God always helps, Santosh. We should have faith in God, or the universe always conspires. If we take action, if we take initiative, the universe, and we must pay gratitude to the universe. At that point, I didn't know all these things. But today, when I look back, see, all this I have without universe, I couldn't this thing. And when I left, I was getting married in Mangalore, not in Bombay. So जब मैं ये घर छोड़ के जा रहा था, विदा करने के लिए भी कोई नहीं था. So my Parsi neighbor, they did that ceremony in Parsi style. Mumbai has a lot of Parsi families.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in their style, to the airport, they drove me to the airport in their vehicle because all my relatives here boycotted me. They felt below their dignity. So they took me to the airport and gave the blessing, and my neighbor and uncle all came to my marriage. So that was one of the members attend. So I was immensely happy, that not being from a culture, coming from a different religion,
Correct.
they came for my marriage, and I pay gratitude to them, and they contributed for the hospital expenses. They contributed 40,000 rupees, and they didn't take that money back. So I really pay gratitude to my neighbor, silently, because I hardly talk to anyone. In my building also, Santhosh, in my office also, only when needed I communicate. Like the way I'm communicating to you today, I don't communicate often to people.
Yeah, yeah, I know
So,
that.
so I pay my highest gratitudes to my neighbor, and when he attended my marriage, it was like an icing on the cake, a real blessing, like all the way from Bombay to come to Mangalore. So that was that. And when we came back to Bombay, so when my wife came first time, so we have a ceremony, So even that, my neighbor conducted it. They welcomed me to my house, And that day's dinner also, I had at my Parsi neighbor's house. So immense gratitude to my neighbor I pay in your show, Santhosh. So this was the second challenge. I successfully executed my marriage, with numerous, and I could say I was resourceful, as Dev sir always tells us. So, so this, so this was my thing. So the third thing I want to say, Santhosh, is when I was a 16-year-old boy, my father once made fun of me. I wanted to buy. I just told my father one day I want to own a house with my own money. So my father laughed at me, in front of my 18 people, and he said, I'll just tell you, तू क्या कर लेगा? कभी अपना शक्ल आईने में भी देखा कि नहीं? So I always felt, at that point that my father didn't really love me, and other than my mother, I felt in that family nobody liked me, and I was always hated. So you see now, if people don't like you, how it mentally affects you, Santosh. It leaves a deep scar. So when my dad said, I was 16-year-old boy then, but I said, even if I don't do anything in life now, I'll prove to my dad, by any means I will have a house. And daddy said, you buy anywhere in India, if not in Bombay, you buy anywhere in India. So always, even in all these incidents, I had to prove this, before I die, if I don't own a house, even for a day, if I don't own the house, my life would be incomplete. So the next task was to purchase a house. So in 2015, an opportunity came to me, and an under construction house. Obviously, that is much cheaper compared to compared to buying other things. So I was able to get 1,000 square feet apartment, you can say. And in 2018 May, I was able to do that. I was able to fulfill that dream. But Santosh, the day I proved my father wrong, that night I really, I thanked my father, and of course, today I'm revealing it. I never revealed it. When I came back to Bombay, I kissed my father's photograph. That even though he was like that, I always loved my father. But neither he also must have loved me, but he also never showed it to me. But that was the day, because had he not said that thing, this motivation of buying a house, this was the biggest motivation for me. If I wouldn't have a house of my own money, where I had to took a housing loan and whatever assets I built post my marriage, with that I was able to achieve. Because prior to that marriage, I was bankrupt, as I had told you, when my mother's accident. Everything
Exactly.
was my goals, dreams, everything was gone. That life was gone. So I had to build everything with the new life from 2010, which I had. I got married in 2010. So that
Hmm.
the day I conducted the puja and all, this time even my relatives joined in, relatives and friends who boycotted my marriage, wanted to see मैंने किस तरह का कर लिया. So, so even they were happy, that day. I don't know why, but they were also very happy. I fulfilled this dream, of my house. One more thing we discussed, when my mother died, my aunt made this statement. In my next life, she had 4 children and she did all the most, unhappy things for me, conspired and everything. He said, in my next life, Arvind should be my son. Knowingly, unknowingly, उसने लोगों के सामने बोल दिया. So, when you're a detractor, Santhosh, give you a compliment, it's always genuine. Your friends praise you, no matter how you are. But when your enemy gives you that admiration, the grudging admiration, that's I felt I achieved something, And when I achieved all these things, my relatives, my father's side relatives, were reasonably well off, an upper elite. They all respected me, that how I could get all these 3 things done. Whenever I meet them, Santosh, they always tell me, hats off here, how you managed, Somebody from riches to rags, never comes up. People tend to commit suicide or, frustrated. But I never felt like this, other than the day when my daddy died, Once I came out of it, I was determined, I have a life. That time, see, Santosh, I was 31 years. When this thought of suicide came to me, for that one moment, I thought my life was over. But moment I fought back, you know, the determination, the transformation, once it came to me, I said, now I have to live my life fulfilled. And thus, Santosh, all these 3 things were my major achievements and it really transformed me. And we should never give up hope, Santosh, and always have faith in God and gratitude to the universe, Santosh. Without that, without universe helping me, conspiring me, as we always had in our passion trainer, Dave sir would always say. So without universe conspiring me, I wouldn't be talking to you, Santosh. So
Hmm.
this is my journey, Santosh.
Thank you so much, sir. Because I can completely relate to you how you are been taking it. It is not easy. And about the fathers, I should tell you, I also should confess this. My father also gives me lot of challenges. He tells me about. I mean, he always. I don't know why it is about. I always believe why he don't love me. Why he is actually comparing me with some other people, or telling why you are not doing this, why you are
Someone
not
else.
doing this. That makes me feel bad. Arey, I'm doing better than everyone, but still he's telling why. I mean, you're not doing this. You're not. Why you are not? Why are you not fit? So I always feel, arey, why? What I have done? I have done all the best things for all in the family. Still, some or other thing he's telling me, or he's keeping me some or other defect. You have this point. You have this point. So I always feel bad. But
Exactly.
yeah, that is a challenge which he's telling us that yes, boss, you have to improve this. So even I should be grateful for my dad, whatever I'm doing right now. So I mean, almost 2 years back or 3 years back, he told me at that time I'm not fit, not completely fit. I mean, not completely fit, but yeah, he told me that I have been topped my exams. I got a job, very good. Everything is fine for me. But he told, why are you not fit? See other people how they are, and all these things. I felt so bad. After that, I have taken a challenge that yes, I should be fit. From there, I started working on my fitness. Right now, I got completely transformed. So that's what he all. I mean, dads, fathers are all. I mean, I don't know. A lot of fathers do this. Whatever you do, they will take some point in you and they will push you to do that. So in my school days, also, my father used to tell, you should not only study, you should go to extracurricular activities also, and you have to do that. Why are you not doing that? Other people are doing that. Why are you not He used to push me to do that. So somewhere, that's where I'm standing over here. This is where my passion came out, that to come out and speak. So it's not about only education. He told every time he told me that you have to do the extracurricular activities. Why are you not doing it? He started comparing with other people and all. Yeah. So fathers are like this, I believe so, everywhere. Even for me also, the same kind of experience. I always believe, why don't he love me? But yeah, he loves me secretly, but yeah, he gives me a lot of challenges. So yes, that's what fathers are all about. And mothers, we know
Yeah,
that they love us.
what made me
Yeah,
point is the photography. They
yeah,
love us a lot, and always take care of your mother. We only have one mother. You can have several
yeah,
wives if you want, but mother is all only one. One more thing, Santhosh, I want to say, I don't hold grudges against anyone. Suppose, if I didn't have to sell off my assets, I had assets today. I would have had an assets worth around 5 crores, but today I don't regret. See, those who took away my things, my rightful things which I should have had, I hold no grudges against them. मैंने अपना घर भी बना लिया, and I'm living a reasonably okay life. Even in my job, I'm excelling. Even I made peace, whatever daddy said. I still love him, and probably he also might have loved me, but not shown to me.
not
Even to
sure.
my relatives, I've forgiven them, and I don't hold grudges to anyone. Even the people who don't talk to me, I have forgiven them, and I'm open to this thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
awesome. It's
And
fine.
I'm open to call King. I'm open to this thing. I have forgiven them, and I've put that episode behind me, so that one should not have anything. And I'm happy. Main thing is I've transformed myself, and next time I'll come to your show when I've achieved something.
Yeah, already you have achieved a lot of things, sir. It is not like, yeah, you have already achieved a lot of things. That is where you are on show. It is not like you didn't achieve anything. Being from there, I mean, it's not about achieving something, becoming, to be frank, an IAS, IPS officer or president or PM. It's not like that. Achieving, at least coming over whatever your past to whatever right now you are in. That is what a biggest achievement for you and for me as well. It's an inspiration for me. That's what a biggest achievement for me as well. I think, I mean, if Arvind sir has done this many things, what is
With
stopping
all the
me to do it?
limitations. Yeah.
Yeah, if
And
you
another
are
thing,
doing it
I
in
know.
that way, with, yeah,
Yeah, one more thing. See, everybody wants, a person whom you should love, but you should know to give love to the person. Today I don't
exactly.
complain, but that time I was a teenager, so the feeling of unloved came so much. But now what I have done, that one more thing. The day I was facing financial crisis, Santosh, during my mother's death, the hospital went out of the way. When I couldn't afford medicine, Santosh, the resident doctor would arrange free medicines for my mother. So once I saw love from the people, then automatically the first time I felt love was, the many people, in the patients have problems, but the doctors went out of the way, knowing my mother wouldn't survive. I received love from people, outside my family, and that love I always treasure. So to any of my friends, we should not expect anything from your friend. If your friend doesn't like you, you should free them. But you should give maximum love to your friend.
Exactly.
You should try to be their best friend. You should make an effort. You should make their life very good, as if the friend they dream. But it happens. Everybody is not going to love you. Some people,
Yeah.
however you do, may not like it, and you should free that. Free that person. And keep good memories. So
Yeah.
love is something we cannot steal. It has to be
Exactly.
natural, which I learned. So whomever I make friends, very few people I make friends, Santosh, then I give 100% to that friend. That make him like treat him like a VIP. That's what
Yeah.
I strive for.
Awesome.
And if
So
it doesn't work, part gently, You live your life and I'm happy with my life. It's not easy, but it's important to free that.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So this is also another thing I wanted to make a point in the show.
Okay, so great, sir. So I know that, yeah, that is not easy, and you have done a very great job, which no one actually can do it, I believe so. So it's not easy. So now coming to the next question. So this is the last question for our first particular phase. So that is about, we have given a topic called as embrace your introversion. So what exactly you want to convey to the people by taking this point of introversion? I know that you have done it alone and fighting your own odds inside and outside as well. So being an introvert, what exactly, any 4 pointers or 5 pointers or 3 pointers which you want to tell people being an introvert and embrace that introversion?
See, being an introvert is the best quality you can have. The people go out of the way to help you. Because you're an introvert, you're not a show-off, you're not proud or anything. The other person, it's a personal experience. The other person goes all out to help you. Being an introvert is an asset. When you are in difficulty, people go out of the way to help you. I've given one example to you, a cricketing example. Take the example of Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane. We lost that first test match. We're digressing a bit, but how Ajinkya Rahane motivated and won that series, and Ajinkya Rahane, after that, is back to his introvertness,
Yeah.
He's given a baton back to Virat Kohli. So, an introvert can command respect. Once an introvert says something, people are ready to do for you. See, being an introvert, my friends were ready to do anything for me, to make my thing successful. The hospital, which I never asked, they went out of the way and did everything for me. My neighbors, when they found nobody, I was all alone. An introvert like me doesn't know anyone. See, this is all, God comes to our rescue. God always comes to our rescue because introverts are humble in nature. And introverts always deliver when it is needed, And then they go back to being an introvert. So introvert is the best person to make friends now. If I have to select a friend other than passion planner, I always go for an introvert. In passion planner, we had to make friends. So I couldn't go on that basis. But in my personal life, I choose always an introvert to be my friend and not an extrovert. Being an extrovert is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I must say. But they tend to show, they tend to show off a lot. People may agree, disagree with me, but they tend to show off a lot. And it is only talk, no substance. It's my personal opinion, but this is what I want to say.
Yeah, it's okay. But it's not for every extrovert. Again, a disclaimer, it's not for every extrovert. Most of the extroverts,
it's my personal view. That's what I put up this thing.
It's okay. But it's okay. But the point is very simple. It is not introverts' work. They cannot come out and show that kind of stuff. But it actually make most of the introverts feel uncomfortable. That is what I also feel whenever I come over here. It is not, I always feel uncomfortable in the starting, but I always feel that, okay, I have to do this. For the people who are watching this, I have to do it. So that is where my push or my motivation comes into picture. So yes, so thank you so much once again, Arvind sir, for completing our first phase, that is about question and answers. Before going into the second phase, if anyone want to follow, or if anyone want to, ask your questions to our Arvind sir, our guest today, you can follow him. I think the links are already in the description. You can follow the social media links of Arvind sir. Apart from that, if you have anything, you can put it in the chat box, and you can send me as well so that I can ask him. Okay. So next, coming to the second round, that is about the rapid fire. So very simple rapid fire. You will be having some quick rapid fire questions, and you have to answer as fast as possible. So are you ready? Are you ready, sir, for that? Yes, please.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Good. So what you are? Like, you are a night owl, or you prefer doing your things in the morning?
The field which I am, there is no fixed hours of working. There are times, Santhosh, I have to sit late in the office, which I ideally don't like. I actually want to do things early in the morning, but in my field, there is no, going home time, Bosses make you work. There are times you have to sit whole day also. But ideally, early morning is the best thing. But you have to put up. That's your job, You have to sit late, and that's part of life, I should say. But ideally, a day Early morning is the best thing.
Okay. So if you're talking about a motivation, so what actually motivates you? For example, I don't want to ask you regarding books now. So any specific entertainment purpose, like for example, a song, a movie, which actually drives you so that you get some energy out of it.
Okay. See,
Any
I
such
come from
thing
a
for you?
cricket family, Santosh. So I like
Okay.
going
Yeah.
to watch the IPL. I like to go. I like to watch movie. I mean, watch the matches at the stadium where you get the feel. Especially since I told you, come from a cricketer's family. So I do watch Mumbai Indians versus RCB. Every year I go to the stadium and enjoy the atmosphere. I love the atmosphere at the stadium whenever possible. I
Hmm.
like Hindi. Since one of my relative is an actor, which I discussed with you. So I love movies. I love reading also, Santosh. If you can see,
Yeah.
my favorite
So yeah,
book also.
next question is about that only. What is your favorite book?
Freedom at Midnight by Dominic Lapierre.
Okay. Okay. So why
That
why
whenever
why why that book? Why that book?
that was the first book I read in my this thing, and many times because I love history, and it deals with the partition. How many millions of people were displaced.
Hmm.
Millions of people in Punjab were displaced. And I read the book many a times. Whenever I feel this thing low, I always read that book. I don't know why, but I have a collection of books, Santosh.
Yes,
So
great. So yeah. Now next question is about your friends. I think you have already shared this, like kind of family and all. But yeah, I'm asking about friends. When you are an introvert, you told that people used to bully you a lot. So anyone called you or anyone pinged you after getting success or right now recently? I think we lost our guest. It's okay. Let us see. Let's wait for a
the
second.
person is continuously calling, so I had to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay. It's
because
okay.
they don't
So
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the question is about any person in your life has bullied you when you are introvert right now or recently called you or pinged you that Arvind, you have changed a lot or you have got a lot of things in your life. Congratulations for that. Any such personalities in your life?
Means, see, some friends are there right from my college days, so they have seen my version one, how I was coward and timid. And actually, initially they had sympathy for me, but now they have respect for me. When I went through that journey, even they
Hmm.
felt that they would be able to pull it off. Now they have respect for me.
Yeah.
Probably they value me more after, and they've actually seen the journey. So for them, I don't have to explain how I found solutions to many of the things they wouldn't imagine. So
Awesome.
these five things are there from my college. So as I told you, a very limited number of people, but there are many other people. Like I told you, one of my relatives, she said in the next life I should be her son. So that was the biggest praise I could receive.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
enemy's praise is always genuine.
Yeah. Yeah. So great. So thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And yeah, we are done with our 2 rounds and 2 phases of our show. And it has been, I mean, after listening to your story once again, this time again, I'm listening to you. But yeah, I always feel that inspires me a lot because being Arvind is not easy. I know that. So it is not easy to be like that. And you fought against all the odds. So I'm so grateful for the universe somewhere we got connected.
Yes.
So thank you
If
so
not
much
for
once
you,
again.
I wouldn't be talking to you. I should say I must express my gratitude to universe once
Thank you.
again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
And this
So
is the
yes,
biggest takeaway from Passion Print, thanking the universe and valuing for things. I was not valuing the things, I learned, I could visualize all this happened because universe conspired, otherwise I wouldn't
yeah,
be able to fight the odds.
exactly. Yes. True, sir. So yes, sir. Thank you so much once again. I mean, I just want to conclude this. Whoever are watching this live and recorded, you can see how Arvind sir came out of all the odds, how he has been fought against the hurdles, whatever it is. The lot of things. Most of the introverts, if not every introvert, most of the introverts has to face this. It's a truth. It's a hard truth. So, but yeah, it's depending on you how you are actually coming up with it, how you are loving or how you are embracing your introversion. If you are embracing or if you are loving what you are, and if you are accepting what you are, then you can get success. And again, universe always supports whatever you do, whatever hard work you do. I mean, it tests you, but yeah, it will definitely help you out. That is what I want to end up with, and end up with this statement today. And thank
And
you
we
so
can
much
always
for
achieve
being.
something. And we can always achieve something, in this life.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing is impossible.
Yes,
This is what I want
exactly.
to reiterate now.
Yes, exactly. So yes, sir, thank you again. Once again, thank you for that.
Thank
And
you,
yes,
Santosh. And it was a pleasure being in your show.
thank you so much, sir. It is pleasure, I mean, hosting you as well. So whoever are been watching this recorded or live, I have written a book called as Voice for Self Love, which is an ebook which is already available in Amazon Kindle. So this is about the introverts. Basically, as Arvind sir was talking about, self love will be there, but how to raise your voice is the one challenge most of the people will be facing. So for that only, with my experience, I have written a small book which is 25 pages. But yeah, it is worth it. So it is available in Amazon Kindle already. And apart from that, I am actually making a lot of videos regarding introversion, and I'm adding a lot of, value towards people, so that according to me, I mean, that's what introversion is not a disease to be cured. It is about a motivation. For me, it's a motivation. For Ravindji also, it's a motivation which drive him towards whatever he wants. And yes, a lot of people actually take this as a motivation. So if you want to follow me, you can check it out, my YouTube channel, Facebook channel, wherever you are. The links are already there in the description. You can find them out, and you can follow me in different social media platforms to get, to know more about the introversion. So with that note, thank you so much once again for to the all the audience who are actually pinging me personally, telling Santhosh, why didn't you? You can make this kind of video, or you can, why didn't you make this show? And if I miss one week as well, I'm getting messages. Thank you so much for that love, and I should show a lot of gratitude to you people, because you are the ones who are driving me. So I can add value to people, but yeah, there should be some drive to me as well. So that is one drive which is actually pushing me every day. Means people are waiting for me. Okay, I have to do it. Even one person pings me, it makes me more fulfilled. So that's what I want to. So my mission is to transform 1 million introvert professionals to achieve success by embracing the introversion. So thank you so much once again, Arvind sir, for being on my show. So with that note, if you want to conclude anything else
Yeah, it was a pleasure being in your show, Santosh. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the people who are watching us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we'll be meeting in the next episode of Stories of Hope Introvert Special. Till then, have a nice day. Have a nice week. Thank you.